actor. I did plays for a long time in New York City and around the country, and grew up loving the same things you guys do. And even when I was in acting school, I contacted companies going, I would love to do voices for your cartoons, and no one ever responded because that's not what they want to hear. They want actors to show up at their door, not start raving mad fans. But then I was doing a play in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was doing a four-man version of Romeo and Juliet. I was playing Juliet. The guy who was playing my nurse, who you might also know, Crispin Freeman. He's done some stuff. He would show up to rehearsal with a different anime-related T-shirt every day. He was a big nerd for it too, and then we just hit it off, and we spent 2 months together. And then when we got back to New York City, he said, "Hey, would you like to come in there to having an audition for this thing?" And I went in, and that was something called Boogie Pop Phantom. Anybody?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a long time ago. And I was lucky to land a juicy role instead of just, clerk, hey, how are you doing, sir? Which is how you usually get broken. And I got a nice, juicy, curvy part. And it just snowballed from there. I did a little bit in New York where there's a little bit of that work, and I was still doing theater. And then I got married. I moved to Los Angeles, thinking maybe I can make a career out of this, and I did. So I did it for a couple of years, and then someone said, "Hey, you've got a good head on your shoulders. Do you want to try writing the English scripts for these?" And I, you know how, and I lied and said yes. And then they said, "Hey, you've got a good head on your shoulders. Do you want to try directing the other actors?" And again, lied and said I knew exactly what I was doing. That led to, so I voice acted in animation and in games. I do commercial work now. I've adapted probably 200 episodes of anime for an English. That doesn't mean I speak Japanese. It just means I got a raw translation that sounded like, "I will kill you with a sword now." And made it sound good and match the flapping of the mouths, right? And I direct for games now too. Most recently, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Another game which I can't talk about, but I spent most of the last year working on. I directed the VO for Resident Evil 5, other stuff. So that's how I got in. And I'm a geek. I was a geek. I am a geek. I beat the man. I wear a T-shirt to work, and I pretend to be, demons and elves.
And guys who write giant Gundams.
What?
Robots.
Did she say giant condoms?
Gundams. No, not Gundams. Sengoku.
Set out to be a serious
Here's the quotation mark. Serious.
And you've been very successful in your career, and congratulations on that.
Special effects.
This is where we release the sleeping gas.
Do some people still see your line of work as not serious? Industry professional?
Not anymore, no. I mean, there's actually a lot of downward pressure from celebrities now coming in. I mean, there's way more celebrity in voiceover now than there ever used to be. People who work on TV shows that I've met or in movies who are, I'd love to do that. I came to LA thinking, maybe it's not too late for me to get into film. Was doing. But I meet people at conventions and they're like, how do I do that? How do I get into voiceovers? So I don't find too many people my dad's kind of confused by it. But other than that, no. I mean, I think that it's never been a better time for nerds on planet Earth. With things like Thor and, and Avengers, and just in the movies and in games and in animation, we're going through this renaissance where everybody loves sci-fi and superheroes. So no, I think everyone's embracing it.
What's your favorite
the
part
best time for games.
of your job, of what you do? So what do you most enjoy?
My job, the best thing about my job is that it's never the same. Every week I go somewhere and I pretend to be an elf in Middle Earth, or a transformer on Cybertron, or a horseman of the apocalypse. It's different all the time. Sometimes I just go in and go, Renee, get down, all day. It's never the same. And then sometimes I direct, and sometimes I'm staring at my keyboard getting angry that I can't think of how to adapt a line for an episode of something. So I like the variety. and I like making a living, you know, as a performer and an artist. It's tough trying to be an actor, man. 5% of actors make a living solely as an actor.
Now, you do work in animation, you do work in video games. What's the difference? How different are the industries, and how different is the line of work for each of them?
It's a lot of the same actors, not exclusively, but a lot of the same actors. The biggest difference is how we record. For games, and it's changing a little bit, but for games, 90% of the time, you're by yourself in a booth. There's nobody to act off of. Typically, we're looking at a massive Excel file with just columns and rows of all the lines, and hopefully the voiceover director and the dev team from the game company knows what's going on in every moment. And you're by yourself, so you have to imagine that you're getting shot at, or getting shot in the face, or getting kicked in the gut, or begging for your life. But with animation, you'll have a group read. You'll have 8 or 10 or 12 actors in a room, and you get to work off of each other, it's really better that way. But with a game like Fallout New Vegas that has 60,000 lines, they could never do group reads for that. That's just not, it's impossible. So you have to create a lot more of the world in your head for video games most of the time, although I've done group reads, but they're rare. And with animation, anime's not group reads either, that's one line at a time. Beep, 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 I'm gonna kill you!
Well, I am going to turn over the microphone to have our audience ask you questions. The format very simple. We have the microphone ready. So if you guys want to go ahead and line up. And anyone with questions?
I don't know what to ask. Damn it.
Is your soul alive? Or did you sell it to the devil?
Let them ask the question.
All right. First of all, thank you for being here. And secondly, what's one voice acting role you wish you could have, like for anything?
That's already the ship has already sailed. It already happened.
Or anything that you would love to
I already know the answer. The answer is Tetsuo and Akira. I grew up on that. It's my one of my favorite movies, period. I got to Los Angeles about 6 months after they redubbed it, so missed my shot at it. No guarantee that I would have gotten it, but I love that role. I would like my arm to explode into a giant meat sandwich.
Thank you.
Well,
my question is, what is the strangest thing you've ever said in the booth? Like, aside from your own scripts, what is one line you've translated or read that's been like, what?
read out loud and God, are there any little kids in here?
I don't think so.
Did anyone bring their kids in here? Wave your hand if you got a kid with you. The weirdest line might have been, those who laugh at porn will one day die by porn.
From what is that?
That's from Hade and Goo. It's Dr. Clive. And then also when I recorded Air Raid for, this isn't pervy gross or anything, but when I recorded Air Raid for Transformers War for Cybertron, it took me about 10 tries to get through the line, Optimus, look out! Because I started giggling every time. Because I'm a nerd and we were Transformers games.
Well, you're gonna hate me for this, but there isn't a lot of fan service in Bleach, and I was wondering.
Is or is not?
Well, there isn't.
Okay.
Oh, I know where this is
I was
going.
wondering if you can do an Okitake's voice and say, Kyoraku, I would be glad to have your babies.
He sounds a lot like me, just maybe a little more suave. Kyoraku, I'd be glad to have your babies. As long as I don't die from tuberculosis.
There's a lot of voices.
Out of all the characters you've voice acted, is there any that you, for whatever reason, whether because of story or whatever, that you hated or disliked?
Hated? Not War and Darksiders, definitely not that one. The creators in the room. No, there's nothing I've ever hated. Asura from Asura's Wrath was hard as hell. So, because he screams the entire game, and that's not an exaggeration, 95% of the lines are, personality?
I would like to be the bad guy.
No, he's great. Like this? I don't know. I kind of brain farted. I don't know. I try to love all my characters. Yeah, that kid's a dick. Thank you.
Okay. My question would be, what kind of advice would you give to any aspiring voice actors that would love to
Do this kind of work? Sure. All right, so the first thing, everyone who comes up to me at conventions and asks this question, they always say, I do the greatest impressions. And, well, nothing against you, I'm just saying, that's what I hear. And we get the question a lot. And being able to have a good ear and mimicry, which I think I'm a pretty good mimic, is definitely useful, but you also have to be a good actor. So anyone who's looking to get into the industry, take acting classes, do plays, do films, just study the craft of acting, because I've only met one or two people who said, yeah, I was in radio and now I do Naruto. I've only met one or two people like that. Everyone else was like, I've been studying acting for 15 years, man, and I finally stumbled in. Then the other thing you have to do is move to where the work is. So that means for this stuff, come to LA. If you want to work in the anime industry, some is done in New York, a lot is done in Texas, some of it's done in LA, but for voiceover across the board, for animation and games, the lion's share is in Los Angeles, so you're probably going to have to move to LA. And then if you want, there's a good book that I'll plug for friends of mine, Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt. Yuri is Sasuke in Naruto, Tara is Tamari. They wrote a book called, for anyone in this room who still doesn't know, they wrote a book called Voiceover Voice Actor. And it's a good rundown for what the industry is like right now. There are lots of books out there, but most of them are from 20 years ago.
would you help me?
Would I help you? Sure, I just need a personal assistant for life.
I don't mind.
Well, I have a question, and it's very interesting. I just want your opinion on what do you think Gaara's reaction would be if Temari and Kankura gave him the talk about the birds and the bees.
I kind of think he's still waiting for that talk. I don't know if anyone's explained it to him. No, what he would think about it?
No, what his reaction would be to that.
I don't think he'd be interested because part of me thinks he pines for nothing. I love you too. I also love you.
Love me too.
Second, how do you feel when a yaoi fangirl approaches you?
A yaoi fangirl? Cool with it. I'm pretty liberal.
Fast service.
You know, the only thing I don't like is when I get in my email inbox a picture of naked Gaara and naked Sasuke. I don't mind that exists, and I don't mind that you guys like it. I have no problem with that. I just don't want it on my hard drive for the feds to find.
Okay. Could you say in Gaara's voice, Lee, I love you?
Lee, I love you.
Shivers.
Not true, he looks Naruto.
I just want to say, if you can say to her, happy birthday. Her birthday was actually May 20th in Gaara's voice. Her name is Miriam.
Miriam, say it again.
Miriam.
Miriam. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy
Don't
birthday, Miriam. Happy birthday to you.
Shankoff magic.
Why am I so emo?
I was wondering, because I usually wonder, like, voice actors' favorite lines of their characters. So I was wondering if you could tell us what your favorite line has been of Gaara.
You know me, the ties I have are the ones I'd like to wrap around their necks. Also,
Just settle.
Hi, I was just wondering, do you enjoy making the voiceovers for games?
Yes.
well, not on an ongoing basis, but I like doing it when I do
like
it.
it?
Sure, yeah.
Also, can you say for me in Illidan's voice, you are not prepared?
You are not prepared. You are not prepared! I didn't have any reverb for it.
Sure.
Sorry, I normally have reverb.
Hi, I know that you did the voice of Anders of the series Dog Hat
Yeah.
You. Did you the character did you say it was easy or do you find any problems? You know, because it's like
Easy. I love playing swishy characters. The most. In fact, I know they're rebooting the series, right?
I think
I
so.
think so. I think I saw. Well, no, I mean, like I read it in the game and like on websites or magazines or stuff. I think they're rebooting it, and I really hope they bring it back. I don't remember any of my lines. I just know that I was a little light in the loafers.
Love it.
Haseo, let's get married. That's been a weird progression of my career. I started off playing cowards, fops, perverts, feminine characters, and slowly over the years I've turned into big dudes.
It could be.
We'd like to wish you a early happy birthday. Since we know it's in 2 days.
It is in 2 days.
Yes, 2 more.
How did it feel to be an extra voice acting character for Soul Calibur 4? Or specifically, voice actor number 3?
It was really, you reach high points in your career, moments when you know it will never get any better than this right now.
Darth Vader-like character, and I pitched your voice really high.
Say what?
I pitched your voice really high in a Darth Vader-like character I made of you in Soul Calibur 4.
Wait, you can pitch the actor's voice higher?
Yes.
Thank you.
And this is a serious question. How did it feel to work for Atlas as one of the characters of Catherine and as Akihiko for Persona?
I don't get to work on many dirty games. So, we spend a lot of time going like, Arctic Blast and, shower of rainbows. So we get to swear and talk about how much of a pain in the ass the ex-wife is and bitch and moan about stuff. It's quite pleasurable. Yeah. No, I like it a lot. I like doing the ghost voice in the toilet. And Persona's got legs, man. You guys love Persona. You love it. I love all the Persona games. They're just really, every game they make is so slick and it's just great Japanese pop.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
How was your experience performing Cayu's Ballet for Final Fantasy?
That was, seriously was a moment where I thought it's not going to get any better than this. I'm a gamer. I don't have much time to play as much as I used to with 2 kids and a career, but Final Fantasy VII was huge for me. It was huge. I played it twice. I'm a gamer at heart, so I've always wanted to be, and I know I've done past stuff. I was Red 13 in Advent Children, and there's Kane. I always went, and Laura Bailey talks about this too, who always voiced the lead, the lead in Final Fantasy 13 too. That like we grew up on that, so to be one of the lead characters in the big shiny new Final Fantasy is sort of a, you're like, oh, I made it to the inner circle of VO Christendom. I loved it. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. I just put my faith in the director and went, oh. And he has fabulous hair, fabulous boots.
I killed lightning with my own hands. Do I deserve to go unpunished?
That's a lot of words. What did you say?
I killed lightning with my own hands. Don't I deserve to go unpunished?
I could. I killed lightning with my own hands. Don't I deserve just something, something, something? Right.
How does it feel to be cast in a Studio Ghibli film, even if it wasn't that important as well?
It was cool. I wish it had been bigger. I love Ghibli films.
Yes.
I was just excited to be there.
Did you get to meet me at that scene?
No. We don't meet. Like, I've never met, I've almost met anyone who works on Naruto or any of these games. We very rarely meet the people who make them overseas.
How has it been your experience to work as Gaara both in the original Naruto and
He's the best. He's one of my, I'm not going to pick any favorite character because that's like picking a favorite child, but he's definitely one of them. I mean, I haven't had any role this long, and that was one of the two times in my career. The other was Nightcrawler, where I knew what they were casting for, and I went, that one. That's the one I want to get. I mean, we say that to ourselves all the time, but then you don't get it. So, like, I went out for that character, wanted that character, got that character. And I love young Gaara and old Gaara, probably younger Gaara a little bit better because he is a murderer.
Can you please say Gaara of the Funk? If anyone knows the reference of the original.
Everybody knows the reference. Gaara of the Funk. Of the Funk!
Chill, my friend, chill.
Thank you. I will be 16 on Monday.
Okay. Anyway, I had a question, and I was going to ask for an impression, but the question.
Yeah.
Since we both covered some of the things, I was going to ask, how do you feel when a few years ago you basically went a little bit retro in the anime scene when you got the role when they recast it, wrestled it.
Just go with the question.
What was that like?
She was a pretty important figure in the story.
Yeah.
He's confused with the question.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I knew of Slayers when I worked on it, but I still haven't seen the original series. I know it's one of Crispin Freeman's highlights.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the character at all, so really, in those instances, I have to put all my faith in the director who does know the series. I mean, I enjoyed this.
Yeah, he was the one who he also played Celis, and he recast us in the same was in the project anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but was it an interesting experience? I think?
Yeah, definitely. I also will say, I mean, I won't say that role like wasn't like I got struck by lightning for that one in particular, but I don't work on as much anime as I used to. The industry has gone through a lot of changes. There was a huge bubble that burst. It got huge in the 80s and the 90s, and then
yeah,
and it used to